Hello! So, Big Jam is over, the results are in, and our winners have been crowned. This video is to highlight some of the entries. Now, fair warning, a lot of these games are puzzle games and some of them have like little twists and stuff, so if you see anything that on first glance you like the look of and you want to go play, maybe pause the video and go play it, because I'm probably going to spoil things in this video. Links to all the games are in the description below. So I'm saving the 3 winning entries for last, but the rest of them there is no particular order. So with that in mind, let's dive in. This game is a 2D puzzle platformer in which the player can switch between the normal world and the virtual world by slipping on a VR headset. The twist? They need to find spoons to progress, but the spoons only exist in one of the realities. Neostroke came up with some challenging puzzles that require the player to switch between the 2 realities on the fly to progress. Miss Etiquette exam is essentially a memory game. The player is giving a grounding in proper etiquette, and then they're presented with a series of scenarios and must decide whether those scenarios feature proper etiquette or not. At the end of the exam, you find out if you passed or failed.
Yum 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 yum.
I love games. Let's go to the store right now.
Debanked is a short retro-style horror game that does a great job of making the player feel unsettled. The audio design is particularly effective when playing on headphones. I saw on the game's page that Black Heart plans to keep working on this, so if you're a fan of this type of horror game, definitely give his page a look.
I really like you, and this house is special for me. May I ask you something? Do you live right there, don't you? Maybe one day I could be there.
What is this stuff?
Fine.
It even scares me.
Next time, consider
Do what
you
you
have
have
to
to
do
do
and
and
come
come
home soon.
Talk to strangers and giving them revealing information about our lives is always the best thing. Sweet smell of capitalism. Incredible stink of capitalists.
The premise of this game is that a goblin has stolen your spoon, of course, and you have to get it back. This takes place in an apartment and features physics, so you can randomly throw items around if the mood takes you. The player has a limited time to find their spoon and complete some other tasks, or the Yule cat will eat them. Like Terratangier, this game is a puzzle platform where the player needs to switch perception to make some parts of the level disappear or reappear. This is a much more difficult game, so if you like punishing platformers, this one might be for you. This is a metagame that plays with the idea of perception. The player controls another player that's sat at a computer playing a simple platformer game. It soon becomes clear that the level in the game within the game is unclearable, but that's fine, because the player can use objects from the game room around the game within a game, and use them to help them progress within the game within the game. Game. Possibly the most unique entry this year, ThereIsNo is a puzzle game where the player must type in a word to finish the sentence, "There is no... If they get the right word, the corresponding game object disappears, and this is how the player removes obstacles to progress in the game. Though the game is quite short, this was a really imaginative idea, and it produced one of the biggest gotcha moments on the playthrough stream. Unfinished Side Project is a first-person puzzle game. It uses box and button puzzles, which initially are fun but relatively standard. Then the game introduces a box that only exists while you're looking at it, and the game gets a lot more interesting. The game also features quite a lot of voice acting by the developer himself, who does a great job. If you like games like Stanley Parable and Portal, give this one a look.
Very clever. It's going to get a lot more complicated though.
And so now we're on to our final three as voted for by the Jam participants.
delicious.
Stirring Up Trouble is essentially a potions game, where the player has to mix together ingredients and make certain meals. The twist is that rather than getting the right ingredients, the player must get the correct measurements, which is easier said than done because they don't have any proper measuring implements. Using things like inkwells, boxes, thimbles, and a host of other items that should never have been used to measure ingredients in a meal, the player must get the recipe as close to correct as possible. Craze is a puzzle platformer that features, for me, by far the most satisfying character controller in this jam, and possibly one of the most satisfying character controllers I've ever played with. The player takes control of an adorable little robot who must find his way out of each level by connecting various power outlets to doors and hatches and switches, etc., and basically just find their way through the level. The twist comes from the Spoont, a debugging device that lets the player alter certain aspects of the level. The player must occasionally use this device to get through the levels. There are 12 of them in total, and they're surprisingly well designed considering it's a jam game. Spoon Terror is a pixel art horror game that's very well put together. The player takes on the role of a man who needs a spoon to eat his cereal, of course. Upon heading through his home to the kitchen, he notices things aren't quite right. The game makes effective use of visual cues and sound design to create an unsettling atmosphere despite the pixel art nature of the game, and the monster looks freaky, basically, just freaky. So that was b3agz 2023. Thank you everyone who participated. You all did an amazing job. 7 days is not a good amount of time to make a game in. It's challenging, like especially if you have jobs, college, kids, anything. Like if you have a life at all, it's not easy. So I appreciate that. You guys did amazing. We had well-deserved winners, but like everybody who finished the game, you should feel very proud of yourselves. And I recommend anyone watching who thinks that any of the games look even remotely interesting, go actually check them out. Leave a comment on the developers page, let them know that they did a good job. That's all, and all that's left to do now is to thank my amazing Patreons. As always, all the Patreons are thoroughly appreciated, as well as, by the way, anyone who boosts the Discord server, subscribes on Twitch, or even goes over to Ko-fi and uses that. But the special thanks, of course, go to the Sugar Daddy / Mama tier patrons, who are Dave Maldine, Reg Reed, Gabriel White, Aaron Clark, Mr. Drunken Dragon, Tim Arye, and Inanye. So that's all for now. It will be back to regularly scheduled programming next time, with a tutorial video of some kind, possibly a game dev vlog video. And yeah, check out Twitch, check out the Discord, check out more of the videos on this channel if you're new here. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.